Are you somebody who works full-time and you're trying to do something else on the side? Well, to be honest, you're not alone. There's a lot of people out here right now that are trying to do the same thing, myself included. And if I were to be honest to myself, I've not been posting on YouTube consistently, which is the thing that I'm trying to do on the side while working full-time. So in case any of you don't know and you're new to this channel, I'm the equivalent of a finance director in a nonprofit sector. And so there's a lot that I handle on a daily basis when it comes to doing all of that. But also a big part of this too that takes so much of my time is, it's of course, full-time work is a lot, but I drive on average 2 hours and 20 minutes, 5 days a week to get to and from the workplace. It's a lot. It really is. I'm used to it, and it's always been something that I've relatively done with ease throughout my lifetime. But nonetheless, it takes a lot of that additional time that I would want to take and put into developing YouTube and writing more of the story basis that I've been trying to build on here, as well as anything else that I just want to do to enjoy myself. But when it comes down to it, I generally have to reduce the amount of time and some of the other things that I love doing, like having that extra leisure time to hang out with friends, family, or even just play some games that I've been dying to play. Now that 2 hours and 20 minutes on average every day, 5 days a week, it's about an hour to get there and about an hour and 20 minutes to come back because of traffic. And for any of you to get a true basis of how that works, I work in Detroit, Michigan. And so from that idea alone, you can generally understand that in Michigan, Detroit is more of the bigger city area, and that's where the big part of economic activity, or rather employment activity for better paid jobs is existing in the parts of Southeast Michigan. It is what it is, and I recognize that I have to drive a period of time to have something like that. For the sake of relatability, let me tell you an example day that how things go for me, right? And again, you're gonna really see how this can resonate with you too. So I get up at about 4 to 4:30 a.m. on give or take a little bit of time in between there, depending on how I feel when I get up. I spend about, I got to get out of here by just before 6 a.m. So I give myself about an hour and a half or maybe a little bit more every day in the morning for me to get up, have a bite to eat, and then of course, get ready to go for the day. An hour passes by. I'm getting to work at about 7 in the morning. I work from 7 to 3. So 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Leave at 3 p.m. Get on home to about 4:20. How ironic, right? About 4:20 p.m. I'm finally home. And then I have this remainder of the day. Of course, it's not very long now after the drive time. I generally get in bed to go to sleep at about 7:30 p.m. on average. So from the time that I get home at 4:20 to 7:30, I have about 3 hours and 10 minutes of time for me to do whatever I want. That adds up. It really does. Best case scenario, normally I spend about 2 hours Monday through Friday handling all of this stuff in terms of the writing more of the story basis, building more on the codex, and also trying to get my training in when it comes to working out. I know, it just continues to build up. So out of that 3 hours and 10 minutes of time, 2 hours of it is spent trying to build up on this YouTube stuff. So to reiterate, for me, it's literally stop and go. I am on my feet from getting up and going to sleep 5 days a week. And then finally, by the time it's Saturday and Sunday, because I have typical office hours, right? A little different because it is 7 to 3, but the basis is still there. By the time I'm getting to Saturday and Sunday, I can feel those are my YouTube days. Those are my days to really get down into the depths of writing more information on the Velaris Codex, which is then going to inevitably transfer over into building the full context of the entire AveyaZ story. On Saturday and Sunday, I tend to spend about 8 hours both days handling strictly towards building all that information. So inevitably 16 hours on the weekend, 2 hours, 5 days of the week. It's another 10 hours. So I'm doing about another 26 hours of time handling this side project on top of full-time 40-hour work week that I have that is standardized. I'm constantly working the equivalent of about 66 hours a week. And again, that's an average standpoint. Sometimes I do way more than just 8 hours on a single day on a weekend. Sometimes it's almost 12 hours in total. So I am effectively working the equivalent of somewhere in between 60 to 70 hours every single week. And I've been doing this for about 3 years now. It's a lot. It is a lot. And it's not for everybody to sign up for that. But every single day that I go into work, I'm only thinking of one thing. Of course, doing the job, of course, like I need to do a good job, but I'm constantly thinking about YouTube and the content creation and all the world building basis that I'm continuing to create every single day that I'm at work, on my way to work, on my way home from work, you name it. And then on the days when I actually take a moment of time to give myself a bit of a reprieve, I absolutely will take a weekend and just play some games, watch some shows, and hang out with some friends and family just to give myself some reprieve. I can't. There are times when I need a moment to step back and really give myself a refresher to pertain from burnout. And I highly recommend that too. It's such a big deal because of how much people don't realize that we're continuously pressured in society to just work our lives away to really reach the standard of living, and continuously being pressured to work more. But sometimes especially when it comes to doing something on the side like YouTube and the basis of how I'm doing things, the result is not instant. It's very much the opposite. It is a very long-term growth plan that I have set in stone in the premise of hoping that it will sooner or later achieve the result that I'm really looking for. One of the biggest challenges I have been facing with trying to be a world builder and storyteller, here it is. It's the fact that I want to continually spend all of my time building more of the story and the context to finally get this remaster presented and created. But in the same circumstance, all of that time spent is going to give me nothing until it is done. It's a problem. It's a challenge for me because trying to take the time to actually create YouTube videos and really showcase the material and the world building that I've been creating for all of this time, it's so hard to do that. It really is, because I want to keep building the information that I've been gradually creating. And some of this stuff is just turning out so incredibly well, such as now I've been building, most recently, I have been creating an item database. So again, fantasy world here, an item database and a monster database. So like an enemies database. And what makes this super cool is if you ever go online and you search up a game, you go to a wiki page, these are the things that you're going to typically see, but we typically don't have that to the extent for something that is just like on a book or designed as a book and the storytelling that is inside of it. And that's what makes this really cool and original and unique because of the different avenue and way of thinking that I'm presenting all of the material. And that's just one great example of one of the things that I've been working on. And upon doing all of this other material, something that I really very quickly recognized is that I wanted this to be a dual protagonist system between the two main characters and having perspectives between the two within the story, as if going based on the perspective of one character, but then shifting to the other one depending on the scenario. I didn't do that originally, but that would be a very great thing to do given the world system. And so getting to the end of this video, I'm bringing it back. Aveya Talks. It's me, Aveya, and I'm here again, giving you an update as to how the things have been going on for me. Because likewise for a lot of you out there that are working full-time, trying to create something else on the side, whether it be for the sake of earning more money or building a networking system, and really just having something more that you're passionate and feeling fulfillment from, I totally get it. And it's a lot to be able to do it all. And quite frankly, not everybody out here drives an hour or more going in one direction to go to their day job or night job if you're a third shift worker and doing all of that activity. I get it. And one of the greatest things that has kept me going is the support, the foundational support from those that I'm really close to. In other words, you have to do what works best for you. I found my system and I work a lot. I travel a lot. I do a lot every single week. And it's a lot. And look at me here. I've been so incredibly laid back. I just got back home from work. I'm wearing a jacket for once. And this isn't normally how I do things, but you get the idea. I have to do things the way that I want to. And that's the whole entire purpose of bringing this out, because I'm showcasing what it takes to be able to do all of this in real time, while also trying to maintain my composure and my sanity of being able to keep returning and coming back and being better than what I was before. Because unfortunately, it really does. It takes a very special type of person to be able to consistently do this for a long period of time. And thankfully, I'm one of those people. And I know that you can be too. It's not to say that nobody is built that way. You can learn and you can adjust, be able to teach yourself the mechanics of what it takes to be somebody like that. So change your mindset. Are you ready to be an entrepreneur? I'm trying to be. And quite frankly, I've never felt better trying to do all of this together. I've never worked more than I ever have in my entire life, but it's also been one of the most gratifying things to be able to do. So with many more plans to come in, stay tuned. We're going to keep going at it. And so with laid back Aveya here going on yet another day. By the way, what do you think of the updates I got back here? I'm not the most creative person in the world, but I think it looks good. What do you think? Leave the comments down below. Thanks for being here and stay tuned for more. I'll see you next time.